So we're talking about a markup. A markup is going to be something where, just what it says here, it's the percent it's going to increase from what they made for something. You can also, this is going to be very similar to tax. All right, so tax is a form of markup at the very end. All right, so we're going to look at something like this. What's the original price we care about? What was the percent markup? What was the increase in dollars? And what was the final price? So we're going to look at a lot of things like this to kind of help us. And I can go through an example here, but I don't think it's anything that's really worth your time to kind of go through an example right here. But just think of this. What's the original price is going to be how much did the store buy it for? All right. What was the percent markup? What do they usually mark something up? Like if a store buys the product and they're going to mark everything up 10%. And then we're talking about dollars, and then we're talking about what they're actually going to sell it for. So that's what we're looking at here. All right. So looking at example, a store pays $10 for a baseball cap. The percent markup is 60%. What is the selling price? So let's start with this idea of the 60%. Let's start with 60 over 100. 100 being the total, and this being the markup. All right. So we're thinking this, if we're getting it for $10, that was our total. So we can put it on the bottom. And then we're going to be curious about what the markup is going to be. And again, you can kind of see where this is coming from. So you can probably, some of you are probably already doing this in your head. So what's going to happen is I can solve this and say, okay, what am I doing? 100 times x is 100x. 60 times 10 is 600. Divided by 100. X equals 6. So they're marking it up of $6. All right. So there's one way to do it, is saying, hey, what is the selling price? So they're marking it up $6 and they're adding it to the 10 they bought it. So it's going to be a total of $16. All right. Now I squeezed it in for a reason, because here's another option to look at it. One option is we're going to look at the total again being 100. And so what we're going to do is put 160 on top. And what 160 is, it's the how much they bought it for and the markup. So this is going to be the markup and what they bought it for. So they're going to sell it for 160% of what it's worth, or what they bought it for. So down here is $10. So I can do that cross multiplication. 100 times x is 100x. And then 160 times 10 is going to be 1600. Divide by 100. And you're going to get $16. So $16 is the selling price. Notice we get the same answer, but it's just a little bit different. Where one is going to tell us, here you're going to get the idea of the markup, and then you're going to have to add the original. And then this one you can just do both. All right. Now we're going to look at what it looks like here for the bottom of just something different. So I would say pause it for a second and see if you can figure this one out, and then come back to it in a minute. So that's what I would do, and I'm going to go ahead and go, look at it. So I'm sure you could lie and just not pause it. So here's what I'm asking for. The store sells a bike for $84, and the store used a 20% markup. So the 20% markup to make profit. How much do they pay for the bike? So this one's a little bit different than example 1, where example 1 we see that they paid $10. Here they're selling it for $84. All right, so let's look at the markup. All right, so this is where it gets a little bit difficult trying to figure it out. So they use a 20% markup. So the idea here is that we can look and say, oh, that's going to be 120 over 100. All right, and that's where it gets confusing of which one we're going to use, 100 or 120. But we're thinking they did a 20% markup, so they're doing 100% of what they bought it for, and they marked it up 20%. And they're going to add those two things together. That's why we get the 120 over 100. Now, this is going to be the markup. This is going to be the original or the total. however you want to call it. And so here the $84 is the markup. And we want to find what the original was. All right, so again, just like we've been doing the whole time, you're going to realize that the setup is going to be the hard part all the way through. So this is where you want to use a calculator. 120 times x is equal to 8,400. We're going to divide by 120. All right, and then we're going to go, 8,400 divided by 120. And we're going to get $70. Now, that's a good time to sit there and ask yourself, does that make sense? They paid $70. Does that make sense that they paid $70 and they sold it for $84? Are they going to make a profit? And hopefully that'll make a little bit of sense. So that's what I'm saying here. You can use either method, but when you come down here and they only give you the price, then you're going to probably want to use this method to say, hey, that's going to be there. Besides that, you don't really know where that's coming from, and that gets a little difficult. All right, so now the other side. Now a discount. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because we've done this already. I know you know this, so I'm really not going to do this. I'm going to probably do the harder one and go from there. All right, but again, original price, what we care about. What was the discount with percent? What was the decrease? What was the final price? Notice all four of these things are very good things when it comes to a proportion of what we're looking for. All right, so we're going to need some of that information. They're not going to give us everything, but they're going to give us some. All right, so this one I think almost everyone's okay with. The original price of skateboard is $50. The sale price includes a 20% discount. What's the sale price? This is something basic that I think we've done enough of. Let's go down here and see if it's a little bit different. So this one says this discounted package of athletic socks is 15%. It's on sale for $17. What is the original price of the package of socks? So this is where it gets a little tough. All right, so we're thinking again. We know that it's on sale for $17, so let's put sale and let's put original. All right, so the original, it's $17 is what it's on sale for. I don't know what it was selling for before. I just know it was higher, so this should be higher. So this is where it gets difficult, where this is my percent. I know it's over 100, but I don't want to use 15%. If it's on sale, a discount of 15% means they're taking 15% off the 100, and I'm buying it for 85%. So I'm buying 85% for $17. If I put 15 here, then I'm telling this problem it's on sale for 15% is going to be $17, which means I'm saving $17, and that's not what's happening here. I'm saving 15%, so I have to say this is 85%. And you can see why that's very similar over here, where here it's going to be higher because I'm doing a markup, 120. 100 plus the 20 is 120, where a discount's going to be a little different, where it's going to be 100 minus the 15, so I'm only paying 85%. So if I'm paying 85% and it's $17, what was the original? And so this is where I say 85x equals 1700, divide by 85, divide by 85. Think really quick, see if you can figure it out, and ask yourself, hey, what's 1700 divided by 85? If you really think about it, you should be able to think about it in 2 seconds and say, hey, it's going to be 20. I'm just kidding, I used a calculator. So now, don't leave x equals 20. We want to say the original price was $20, which again should make sense. We're getting a discount. So since we're getting a discount of 15% and the sale price is 17, then originally it was 20, and that's what we're looking for. All right, so good luck. Please ask me questions. But again, you can see how this is very similar to what we've been doing, but it's just a little bit different. All right, good luck.